Let's get this going. Let's get it going. What's going on, guys? Live from Springfield. If you're watching a replay, I'm going to try to cover a lot. So, RN with I've said it before, RN. I need to figure out a way to super chat you. RN, I think, has perfect attendance. Shoestring Trucker, good evening. Jeff S., good evening. So yeah, anyway, if you're listening to or watching a replay, I do have quite a bit to discuss here, so get into all that here shortly, so bear with me. I haven't been using this software in a while, so I gotta remember it. Shoestring Trucker, Eastern North Carolina, 10-hour break time. Nice. Just give me a wrench. Jenna, I don't know if you're listening. I don't know if she's playing live. If she's playing live, she Mike can give you the wrench. I don't know how to do it. I'll be a mother trucker. What's going on? And Treese Harden, good evening. And Treese, I don't think I've seen you in these lives before. What's up, Francis? Is it Francis? Kenworth Rider, good evening. How's it going? What is today? Today is Thursday. Ooh, tonight's payday. Well, for the Prime drivers who get paid on com data, tonight is pay night. I'll be a mother trucker. A wrench means you're a moderator in the chat. Brad Shockley, what's going on? A lot of 10-hour breaks going on. So anyway, if you're at Prime, Thursday night, usually around 10 o'clock for me, you get paid if you get paid to com data. If you get paid to a bank account, you get paid Friday. Kenworth Rider, I know, man. You've been talking about it for a long time. You've been talking about it for a long time, man. I can't wait to read your comments about how challenging TNT is. Let's see. What time do they have our settlements ready on payroll where we can look them up? I don't get my settlements until about 5 a.m. on Friday morning. Jenna's settlement comes to me. Well, it comes to her. She's a company driver on my truck, so I get a copy of her settlement, and it comes to me hers comes to me, I want to say at like 10 or 11 p.m. tonight. So every Thursday night I get hers, and my settlement doesn't come until about 4 or 5 in the morning on Friday morning. But I usually get paid to my ComData account, I don't know, around 9 or 10 o'clock, I think, on Thursday nights. RN, you were surprised by my video today? Why was that? Francis taking 34-hour rest. Tyler, I usually get mine around 11:30 Thursday night. Tyler, mine comes earlier than that. Mine usually comes around 9 or 10 o'clock, I think. Prime Trucker Rob, no, you're not late, man. Prime Trucker Rob will be at the safety meeting tomorrow morning. How's the flatbed division? I have no idea. No idea. Oh, misconceptions? Yeah, RN. Yeah, I'll be a mother trucker. If you log into your ComData account on the On-Road app, usually before midnight on Thursday night, if you get paid to ComData, you'll see the amount that you got paid before you get your settlement. Or at least that's me. I don't know if it's like staggered in different orders for different people, but that's me. Anyway, so real quick, I did this poll on how many of you are looking to start YouTube, and I bought this today, you guys. Now, I said this in today's video that I was going to get a DJI action cam. If you haven't gotten a GoPro, now, look, I love GoPro. I had the GoPro Karma drone before they shut down their drone division. It was a pretty good product. I've had GoPros before, but I've also had a Mavic Pro, and I now have the Mavic Air, I think it is, drone. And I have the DJI, what is it, the mini, anyway, the little tiny thing. I also have the DJI gimbal, which I love. So I bought this today. This is half the price of a GoPro, you guys. This is called the DJI Osmo Action, I believe it is, front and back screen. This is an amazing little camera, just as good, if not better in some ways than the GoPro, and the app is incredible. So if you use an iPhone or Android and you want something you can film and very easily get that footage to your phone, if you do all of your editing on your phone, which I do, all of my videos I edit on my phone, and you don't want to go drop $400 or $500 on GoPro because you're basically paying for the brand. DJI, you guys, I'm so impressed with this. I was very curious as to how the quality, the audio quality, the image stabilization, and everything was going to work out. Very, very impressed with this. $200, $199. So way, way, way cheaper than GoPro. So it shoots in 4K. You can go up to 60 frames per second. So yeah, super impressed with that. Where are we? Might you get paid better because of Deadhead? That would be an issue in my opinion. If you did get paid better because of Deadhead, that would be an issue. Well, RN, I was just, what I was addressing this morning is that I'm not going to say who said it on day one of my orientation because I have great respect for that individual and he still works in the training department. But he came into the class and he was going through this big routine, as the first day of orientation. So you go through multiple classes, or at least back then it was a lot different. But someone asked if you get paid for Deadhead during a Q&A session for lease operators. And he said, I don't know, class, you guys tell me. Does anyone know here? Do lease operators get paid for Deadhead miles? And everybody says, no, no, no. And there's like no's going around the classroom. And he says, not true. You absolutely get paid for Deadhead miles. That's not true. So my point was, on a technicality, there's a claim, and I've heard night dispatchers say it too. There's a claim that Deadhead is baked into the rate for lease drivers for loads. And in my experience now, again, as I said, all of my videos are based on my experience. I don't speak for anybody else. Having run so many loads multiple times now, I absolutely with 100% certainty can verify that rate does not change whether you're 2 miles away from the shipper or 300 miles away from the shipper with most customers. There may be some rare exceptions, but the point that I was making is that the load's likely already booked when it's proposed to you. So it's not like Prime is going back to the customer and saying, hey, we can get a truck to this, to your facility, but it's 300 miles away. So you're going to have to pay an extra $500 to get that truck there. That's not what happens. The rate's still the same. And you have to pay for those miles of your truck getting there. And you have to pay for the fuel getting there, which the fuel surcharge does not take into account in the rate. So I'm not really bitching about that. I mean, it's just part of the show. And like I said in today's video, you can either accept or reject the load. So to me, it doesn't really matter ultimately. I either liked what they're offering for the load and I'm going to accept it, or I don't like it, I'm going to propose or reject it. So it doesn't really matter to me. My point was, every once in a while, something's communicated that I don't feel is entirely honest. And that's rare with Prime. Prime is actually really, really good at communication. And I feel like they're very forthright in most of what they do. There's no perfect company, but someone asked me a question, was there any dishonesty in my whole training, my whole hiring process? That's the only thing I can think of that was somewhat misrepresented to me. Everything I was told by a recruiter turned out to be true. All my expectations were met. That's the only thing I could think of that was somewhat misrepresented to me, that lease drivers get paid deadhead miles, and that's just not that. I don't think that's a proper way to frame it. Just be transparent about it. It's not baked into the rate. The rate's going to be the same if you're 2 miles away, or the rate's going to be the same if you're 300 miles away. It doesn't matter. You either like the rate or you don't. That's the point that I was making. Oh boy, let me go way back up here. What's everyone using for a drive cam? Let's see. Well, let me go back. 2,500 Western region. Oh, there's a whole bunch of you. Wow, there's a whole bunch of you. I'll be a mother trucker. I bought a GoPro 9 and have not used it yet. Still do my YouTube channel on my iPhone. Yeah, I'm actually going to start using this for my vlogs out on the road, primarily because even though I have an iPhone 12, it's the rear camera. This camera on the back is amazing in low light. The camera on the front, however, is terrible in low light. And all of my vlogs I film on the front. So, I'm trying to, and I do most of my videos at night because that's when I drive. It's when I'm awake. Maybe not most, but a lot of them. And with GoPro, again, I'm not complaining about GoPro. I've had a lot of good products from GoPro, a lot of experiences, but I feel like DJI has really stepped up their game in this particular product line. They've always dominated on the drone front. In fact, they basically put the GoPro Karma drone out of business. But this is a very competitive product. And I feel like now at this point, if you're buying GoPros, you're paying for the brand. Tyler, I think I'm going to go get a drone and start training so students can see their backing from an aerial view. Okay, so I have a drone. I love it. I've done a lot of work in my past with drones. For those of you who don't know, I actually was the executive producer for a feature-length documentary. I was the lead editor for that feature-length documentary. It was low budget, $250,000 we raised and spent on that movie. And we had like $3,000 drones. So we did a lot of drone work, and I've had the Mavic Pro before I had the Mavic Air. Love the Mavic Air, but here's what I find about being on the truck. A drone on the truck is just messy. It's not, a truck is not a good environment to keep up with it. You have, I've got 4 batteries for my drone. It's got a big charging platform base for it. A drone even the small one has to be pulled out and set up, and you've got all the accessories that are kind of coming out of the bag and you're trying to piece it all together. I find it to be a huge pain in the ass to set up and fly a drone while you're out on the road in the truck. And I wish that wasn't the case. I mean, when I was working on the production, every single day for 7 months, we would go out, the production team would go out and spend several hours setting up for the day. We had a trailer that had a ton of solar power on top of it, air conditioning in that trailer, and it was a production trailer. So we had all the charging facilities. It had lithium batteries in that trailer that could just charge everything. And then we'd have all the talent that would show up throughout the day, and everything would be ready to go. And then when they were done, then we had several hours in the evening to shut it all down. When I'm trying to drive a truck, there's only so much time. And when I make a vlog, I film that vlog, I edit that vlog, and I upload it all within 30 minutes. So I wish it was easier to get the drone out because I love drone footage. But man, it is a pain in the ass. What I do love about DJI drones is that I can put the footage directly on my phone and drop it right into my editor. I really love that. Frosted Flake, how much is it? Yeah, it's $200. $200. So it's literally half the price of the new GoPros, and it's amazing. This trucking rules, I'm not sure which one we have. I'll have to ask Jenna, and maybe we can do a video on that. Turtle Island, how far back does Prime look when they test your hair? I don't know that Prime test hair. I don't think they do. I got drug tested this morning, by the way. When we got into Prime this morning, at 1 o'clock this morning, I got popped for a random drug test and an alcohol swab. So they made me put this alcohol detector thing in my mouth for 15 or 20 seconds. And then I had to do the urine test before I could leave the terminal. Kenworth Rider, do you have a camera for catching safety violation for idiot drivers in front of you for accident? What do you recommend? Yeah, our dash cam, but I'm not sure what. Jenna kind of manages that. I'll be a mother trucker. I edit on my phone as well as, but of course, like them, everything on my phone. I'm intimidated by technology. I don't know why I keep buying it. Well, here's the thing. Time is an extremely valuable asset on the road. And if I have to pull out I've got a MacBook. This computer that I'm looking at right now is almost a $10,000 computer. This is an actual production editing suite. But I, of course, can't take this on the truck. And I just don't want to pull my laptop out and sit there and do full-blown edits. I have DaVinci Resolve, I have Adobe, I have Final Cut 10, I've got Apple Motion, I've got all of it. But I don't want to open up all that shit. Like, it'll just take me hours on end to edit a video. I do videos every single day. I can't do that. Dumbcuff, rarely go home, no wife, no kids, no reason. Larry, how good do those GoPros work out? I was thinking about getting one for my truck. Well, this is not a GoPro. This is a DJI Osmo Action, and I've only messed with it today because I just picked it up this afternoon. But I can tell you, I'm 100% with what I did today. I'm sold, absolutely sold on this camera. Love it. Let's see. Scheduled for orientation on the 14th, going flatbed. Super excited. That's awesome. Joe Gampa, how you doing? Getting paid Deadhead sounds bad. Are you a Red Viking trucking fan? I've heard of Red Viking Trucker, but I've never watched any of his videos. I watched like one video, and not saying I was unimpressed. It's just not for me. I generally only watch Prime drivers, to be honest with you. RN, either way, it sounds good. It was good to see you point out the full picture of Prime. Okay. So you weren't upset at me, RN. Francis, some night dispatch just need to leave the phone ring, let the phone ring because they don't know anything. Our one night dispatcher that we weren't a huge fan of is no longer on our fleet. This trucking rules. Sometimes you got to work free to make the money. It's the overall revenue. Yeah, totally. I totally agree with that. I'll be a mother trucker. When I add my miles up when I do a trip, I add the deadhead as well as the regular miles and how much I'm getting paid. Yeah, total trip miles. Total miles is what you want to base your revenue off. Bearded Fat Man, I think sales here is our weakest link. No communication with dispatch to truck. We communicate everything to our FM with 24 plus ETAs still sit after we drop off. I could not agree more. You guys. Now, Bearded Fat Man, you missed the time at Prime when fleet managers actually could see the load board and had more interaction on that front. Loads were much better then because your fleet manager has a connection with you and your truck. They understand you. They kind of, if you say you don't want to do this or you need a break for this reason, or you didn't get a lot of sleep, or you're worried about your hours, you're communicating those things to your fleet manager. Well, your fleet manager is not sitting there communicating all of that to sales. Sales at Prime obviously does a great job of booking us loads and keeping enough freight out there. What sales doesn't have is any connection to me, Eric, as a truck driver, and my truck. They have no connection to me whatsoever. They have no idea what I'm going through. They have no idea what I'm looking for, no idea what my objective is for the week. So when Prime took that ability for fleet managers to see the whole load landscape and kind of go to sales and say, hey, like I remember one time when I introduced Jenna because she was starting in TNT, and I introduced her to Chris Martin, who's my previous fleet manager. He went into his system right there in front of us and said, well, are you guys ready to go? And we said, yeah. We didn't even have to go to driver lineup. He went and pulled up this screen and it's assigned a load to us right there in front of us at his desk. They can't do that anymore. Now, I think he was only able to do that because it was a Springfield load, but he was able to look at things. He was able to see loads. They basically made fleet managers problem solvers now. Graboid trucking, plus don't have to worry about phone calls messing up the video. Yes, good point. Excellent point. Excellent point. That is a huge, and I need to put my phone on airplane mode because I'll probably still do videos in the daytime with my phone just because it's much easier. But I think this is going to help get some B-roll footage that you guys might enjoy, and also in a low light setting at night. Just because the quality of this camera is just stupid good. That's what I'm getting to, Beer Fat Man. I'll be a mother trucker. Sales sucks. I think you're right. They are the weakest link. They don't communicate with the drivers, especially on nights and weekends. Let's scroll down here. RN, Bearded Fat Man, are you lease? Yeah, he's lease. B-Man, Hemi Forever. Do you have or can you do a video that goes over different trucking from reefer, dry van, tanker, flatbed with the pros and cons? I'm looking to get started but don't know the difference. Well, here's the problem. I don't know the difference either. I get asked this all the time. I don't know. I have no idea what the difference in pay is. I don't know the difference in what kind of loads there are. I don't know what tanker hauls. I've seen tanker at ice cream plants. I've seen them at chocolate plants. I've seen prime tankers at donut plants. I don't know. I don't know the difference. All I know is reefer. That's the only world I know. So it's hard for me. What I might do when I come to get my new truck next month, because we're going to be here for 2 or 3 weeks, I might try to go interview the various individuals that run those different divisions and just get their take on it, because I honestly have no idea. Graboid, I've been waiting and hoping someone would make a good GoPro-like camera. Yeah, man, DJI's got this shit down. This is awesome. And again, half the price. DJI Osmo Action. If they want to sponsor me, they can. This is obviously not. I went and bought this. But yeah, they're like, I can't say enough good things about it. Can't say enough good things about it. Let's see. Been waiting. Prime Trucker Hog. Hey, do you think the DJI Pocket 2 Creator is good? Something to have? My drone is a GH. Yeah, Prime Trucker Rob, it is. It's a great little camera. You're talking about the little gimbal. It's awesome. That is a great little camera. This one, I think, has a little bit more power. And I just like it for its ability to have it on something like this so that I could stick it to the side or back of the truck or stick it in a dash if I ever want to. But you're talking about the little tiny one on a gimbal. It's an awesome camera. With the image stabilization that this thing has, to me, because they're pretty comparable in price, I just would, if you were only going to buy one, I recommend getting this one because it's got better audio and a little bit better lens. Herd Bull, what's going on, man? Larry, right? Why would they test for alcohol? Well, they test for alcohol just to make sure you're not drinking alcohol. You know. Let's see. Don Wu, almost done with my 30,000 TNT, 9,000 to go. Nice. That's got to feel good. Oops. Kenworth Rider Red Viking Trucker is an internet predator and preys on the weak-minded on the internet. Okay, so it's a good thing I don't watch them. Yeah, I don't know anything about. Again, I kind of stay in the Prime circles as far as my YouTube. You know, if you come to Prime, I'm basically going to subscribe and watch your comment and support you. When you leave Prime, I'm probably going to unsubscribe. I just don't have time for it. I only really care about my Prime brothers and sisters, you know. I mean, their content. That's really it's all the time I can give, and those are the people that I want to associate with and I want to be a part of, you know. Let's see. From my fleet manager's an asshole. Sorry to hear that, man. I can't say the same. Can't wait to be done with this training. Pay sucks. Yeah, I hear that. Wonder how many loads get double booked by fleet managers. Stefan, if I'm delivering south of Boston, what would I be getting out of there? Haven't been in that area. Boston, there's produce, there's seafood. Really good seafood loads out of Boston. Unfortunately, there's a strong possibility you might get dispatched all the way up to Vermont for the good old ice cream loads. There's also candles in New Hampshire. There's a bakery in New Hampshire, not far from Boston. And then you've got French fries up in Maine. You probably wouldn't be able to do FedEx if you're solo. But there's lots of loads around that area. They may try to get you to go down to New Jersey. If you're in Boston, I would say, hell no. So the ones who assign you low and your pool manager and communicate that to you, they also keep track of when you turn down loads and why. Yeah, I don't know that I entirely agree with that. I mean, I've talked about that a lot of times in videos. I reject a lot of loads, you guys, and I've never once been punished for it. At the end of the day, I'm just a truck number to sales. I'm not an individual. I'm a truck number. And sales' job is to move as much freight as possible. And if my truck says no, they're going to move on to the next truck. And then they're going to immediately try to figure out how to get my truck moving, because that's how sales wins. And that's how Prime wins. I've never once been punished. I think we give ourselves a little too much credit if we think that they're taking it that personally. I don't believe they are. Let's see. I think Reefer at Prime has more loads. Yeah, Reefer definitely has more loads. Absolutely. Reefer has tons more loads. Don Wu, Boston might be Ben & Jerry's. Yeah, exactly. Ben & Jerry's, Stefan, is way up at the top of Vermont. Way up there. What's up, brother? Sorry I'm late to the party. Country Trucker Brad. Guys, Country Trucker Brad, if he doesn't change his mind, is going to drive my first fleet truck. So when my Cascadia gets here this fall, Country Trucker Brad, who's on the screen, is he's gonna, if he can stick it out and wait that long, is going to be the first driver in our fleet, and we are extremely happy that that is the case. Starting Prime Monday. What's Stefan? I'm way behind. Bearded Fat Man. Yeah, well, okay, the question about can I imagine if Prime would go to low board like Landstar? The problem is Landstar is almost all, in fact, it may be all contractors and owner-operators. So they don't have the problem that we have of thousands of company drivers. So you can't, if it was a full load board, then half our customers wouldn't get served because... I mean, I have load choice and I can only see 6 loads every time I finish a load. After that, I have to go talk to, I have to get something proposed to me. If I could open up and see 100 loads, man, I can tell you there's probably only about 5 loads that I would run every week, all week. 5 loads. I would create this perfect little circle and I would just run those loads. And the problem is eventually everybody would figure out that you want to run those 5 loads in a circle. Lori, man, I'm sorry, guys. There's like way more people here than I expected. And Jenna's not helping me with comments, so. Ken's stuff. Lori says we have Ken's Foods, yeah, and seafood loads. Those seafood loads can be really good paying. Johnny on the flip side, facts, Prime, the best YouTube channels, no drama, good information, totally agree. Country Trucker Brad, who's going to drive our truck, is about to get on YouTube as well. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about the possibility that he may be YouTubing from my second truck this fall. Sounds good. They wouldn't send me way up to the Maine. Stefan, yeah, I've been sent up to Maine from Boston. We've been sent all the way up there for French fries, and it's way the F up there. Holy shit, it's way up there. But they do have there is a washout right outside of that place up there in Maine. Really simple, easy, little back it up, private guy at his house kind of thing. Really good experience with that washout. And that place used to have, oh, here's Jenna. For those of you who want to see her nerdy glasses, you might get to right now. Come here. You have to show them. I don't think you guys have ever seen Jenna with glasses. She picked up her glasses today. Come here. She's got nerdy glasses. But anyway, see, I like the glasses.
I don't have a problem with my glasses.
She has, what kind of glasses are your sunglasses?
Ray-Bans.
Or Ray-Bans. Okay, so yeah, these prescription glasses are Ray-Bans too. So when she went to the eye doctor, we were kind of both like, hey, we love your Ray-Ban sunglasses, so let's try to get something similar. And she was able to score that, so.
Camera has me.
Oh, yeah, I got to move that logo, too. Logo right over her face. Let's see here. So we had
So right now, the issue with the glasses and why I said I wasn't happy earlier when I came to the car is because they couldn't tell me how long it's supposed to take for my brain to adjust to the glasses. Because I just wanted to know, like, okay, if in like 2 weeks it's still weird, like, does that mean the prescription's wrong or something? And the chick was just obnoxious about not being able to give information, because what my issue is I literally feel like I'm walking around on like a mushroom trip because my brain is not realizing that my vision is corrected.
yeah, I put them on for a second today, and I literally almost got sick to my stomach. All right, let me try to work through some of these comments. Be a mother trucker. It's really funny when I hear you two were with less than 200 subscribers talk about something and say they're not being sponsored. Well, we are in the process of talking with some sponsors.
Wait, what did she say? I don't get it.
I'm not really sure I understand the Well, yeah, I was saying not being sponsored. Obviously, DJI is a very, very, very big company. But my point was I actually bought this. You know, it's not like I'm talking good about it because I love it. Like I'm very impressed with the product. But yeah, we are talking to some sponsors. And that's kind of, goes along with the future of what we're doing. And I want to talk about that here shortly too. Country Trucker Brad says, I am not changing my mind. Awesome. Really happy to hear that. It's not a GoPro, Prime Trucker Rob. It is a DJI Osmo Action. And yes, it is waterproof. GoPro, I believe, is waterproof too. You're just going to pay twice as much. Ben, Landstar's business model is very different with primes. Yeah, totally different. Don, who Landstar got most hazmat correct. They carry a lot of like ammunition, shit like that. Bearded Fat Man, well, that's it. If the Pro Act passes and Prime went all owner op and lease ops, no company they could do it. Yeah, Bearded Fat Man, that's what some are theorizing, is that it would hurt. In terms of Prime, it could hurt company drivers more than lease drivers because Prime originally was all lease, and then they bought a company. What company was it?
Prime?
Yeah, what company they buy?
Henderson,
and like one of those 3-letter companies that had company drivers, and that started the company side of Prime. So it's possible Prime would go back to an all. Like they just become a brokerage and go to all lease.
Thanks, Cisco. Cisco had said that he just got new prescription glasses and totally understands what I'm going through. So, rolling for time, yeah, LASIK would be great if I didn't have my issue going on. I can't risk doing LASIK. Things could go way
Country
too
Trucker
wrong.
Brad, you're like way ahead of me. Because
Yeah,
you're looking at your phone.
Yeah.
I'm trying to upload the first YouTube video this evening. Try harder, dude. Rolling for time. Man, rolling for time, dude. There's an old school. I say old school. Rolling for Time was rolling with Prime when I came to Prime. I was watching him on YouTube when I was in training. And then he moved on to other things. So you can go check out his channel. It's pretty cool. Did we ever reveal the earplugs Jenna got you? No, Ben, but that's a good point because the ones that she just got are even better. Oh, in fact, I'll get those out of the truck tonight. And I'll post a picture on YouTube and then I'll bring it up in tomorrow's video. I can't remember the brand of them, but man, they're freaking awesome. And he's talking about earplugs that if you're on a team truck, dramatically help me sleep better because they're soft enough to where I don't feel like the pillow scratching on my ear when I'm going down the highway, and they block out a lot of little sounds that just make it easier for me to sleep. Joe Gampa, they look nice.
Thank you.
Bearded fat man Eric gets all giggly for those glasses. Yeah, I think they're super sexy. I think she's hot.
I don't. Where...
By the way, guys.
Okay.
By the way, guys, I want to show you something. She has not one but 2 rings on. Ta-da! Stefan, holy crap, Jenna's a hottie without that hat.
The hair, man.
She can't do her hair every day, dude.
I have like a natural afro, like
Yeah,
real,
she does.
like, and when I say afro, I mean like big 1970s
She does.
afro.
When she wakes up, it's like Medusa. I mean, it's like...
I'll literally have, this is like his favorite part of the morning is I'll have hair like sticking out like this, like all
It
the way like
does. It
this
sticks that far out. I don't know how it does it.
because it has no weight. It has like no weight. My hair is completely weightless.
That's funny. Kenworth Rider, Jenna will look fine with glasses. Bearded Fat Man, I like them. Okay, good. You
Thanks.
guys are helping out.
Well, I got scared for a second because like my phone isn't keeping up with the comments, and I'm like, nobody likes my glasses.
RN. Jenna looks like she's one with a dark side. Okay, Jenna always wears either black or gray and long sleeves since I've known her. So like 7 years? Is it 7 years?
It doesn't matter what time of year. It's full sleeves.
Who the hell's down liking? Is that our down trolls? We have like 5 down trolls.
Somebody
Jeffrey.
doesn't like my glasses.
Okay, if you like Jenna's glasses, upvote the video. I'm gonna beat the down trolls. And it's like the same 5 down trolls, and I actually love it. I get a kick out of them. Kenworth Rider, those are great, Jenna. I love them.
Thank you.
Francis, do you stay in Ozark? No, we are
On the border in Nixa.
Nixa, Springfield. Jeffrey coming to Prime in July. That's awesome. Thomas Carroll. Eric, you may need a 30-minute break about now. 30 minutes? You saying I'm getting old? Rolling for time. LASIK was the best thing I've ever spent money on.
Yeah, that's where I was, and my chat's all messed up because I came in the middle of it.
Kenworth Rider. Eric, if you don't mind, but Jenna looks great with glasses. No, I don't mind at all. Jeffro, Eric, will you be training students at all? I need a good trainer when I come in. Not this year.
He's kicking me off the truck eventually, just not yet.
Not this year.
We're going back and forth on, we have a disagreement on how durable I am for the long haul.
Well, here, can we, let's just, I'm going to give you guys a little bit, because that's what the title of this video is which I totally have not touched on at all, because you guys are like, this is way more active than I thought tonight would be. I want to pose this to you guys, because this is totally just conceptual right now, okay? So don't take this in any way of being a plan, or it's not, okay? It's just conceptual. It's an idea that we have. Jenna is exceptional at cleaning anything. She is. Whether it's cleaning guns or cleaning a bathroom or cleaning a car or cleaning a truck.
Or cleaning out your bank account. I keep kicking the stupid desk.
Well, the camera's not attached to the desk, so it doesn't matter. But like anyone who's ever been in our truck
currently.
will testify.
Not
Well,
currently.
we just lived in it and ran our asses off for 3 weeks, so
Remy's fault.
it needs a tune-up on the inside. But anyone who's been in our truck will testify that our truck it's pretty like new. So we're kicking around and kind of working out the idea of next year possibly launching a physical truck detailing business in Springfield called...
We're not going to reveal that.
Yes.
No.
Okay, fine. High Beams.
Why?
High Beams Truck Detailing. I have to say it. I want to get some feedback here.
So the high beams thing was like a play on, high beams.
This is not a joke, though.
know, because like
We've had.
I've got a friend that might do it with me who she also is of the bustier variety. So like the joke came between the two of us, and we were like, high beams would be like a great name for a truck detail place.
Yeah. So it's not a joke. I mean, she actually is really, and not only is she good at cleaning out trucks, she's had multiple drivers say, can you detail my truck? And not really ever in a position to be able to do it.
I actually have a friend's truck parked at Prime right now for when we come back in July, that he's going to be a test subject for a bunch of new products that I'm ordering. Like his personal truck, he drove to the yard to drop off so that I could pick it up and detail it.
Ben Min says, holy shit, that work would get so repetitive. Yeah, but see, that's Jenna. Jenna is good at that kind of work. She is. She has a very
put, like earbuds in and like jam to music and just
yeah.
I don't know. I'm weird. I'm like really obsessive compulsive, like very OCD clean, and everything has to be perfect. And
yeah, so. and we don't, if we go forward with it like a Hooters but truck detail. Yes. Yes.
It seems like great marketing, with like a little like the little logo, like a girl with sponges, like yay.
D Naughty, you would have a line of trucks blocking the road with a name like that. And it's not even that we would need it to be like, we don't expect a business like this to be like crazy busy all the time. It's just something to give her something to do. There's some reasons that we'll discuss maybe next year that it's probably not logical for Jenna to be driving the truck for many years to come. Would that be an accurate way to say it?
Well, I mean, that's something we could address right now. Yeah, like it's, so the issue is like I'm completely fine right now, but the downside of the whole EDS thing is that long term, the more I damage my joints and stuff like that, it's not going to repair itself. Like I'm going to wear out my joints way too early doing some of the things I'm doing. So Eric's concern is like, walking across the truck stop in winter on ice if I fall and tear something or break something. So I mean it's hard, like pride wise, because I like to think I'm really tough. I like to think I can go out there and do anything, but understanding that my body does naturally come with some limitations, and that I have to take care of it. I only have one.
So she's had how much was your ankle?
So now it all makes sense, but basically I had slipped on ice in 2015 when I lived up in Wisconsin, and I broke my ankle, and I was told it was a sprain and that it would be fine, just use crutches for 3 days, it's not even that bad, whatever. So I had listened to the doctors when they said that, and I just kept falling. Like I never got stability back. It would constantly swell, all kinds of stuff. Well, they totally missed a bunch of red flags with that incident, and not only had I broke my ankle, I literally tore all the ligaments. So every time I was walking, my foot was dislocating. So after a year of just eating shit all the time, like multiple times a day, like we'd be walking somewhere and I would just eat shit. Eric finally was like, either neurologically something's wrong with you or your ankle's jacked. So he made me go to a specialist, and the specialist was like, this is beyond jacked up. It took 2 surgeries to put it back together because the first surgery failed. Like my body rejected my own grafts of ligaments to, like, it didn't want to be put back together. So 2 surgeries and $65,000 later to get me walking normal again. So, and with that in mind, and now knowing why that happened, clearly he's concerned about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's and it sucks, you guys, because she is a really good truck driver. She, and any of you who've gotten as far as, you're what, a year and a half in?
Yeah,
November, so.
November will be 2 years. So, it sucks because she's worked really hard to
Yes, chemical guys graboid.
get into this career, and but the reality is that if there's just such high risk that something could go terribly wrong, and there's other aspects to it as well. But so I see a comment that says, Ben, you were saying she could do 30 days on, 30 days off. Well, but the thing is, really what we're kind of thinking is that sometime next year, maybe, she can build her own woman-owned, woman-run business here in Springfield doing truck detailing, which she's really good at. And she loves to be here in Springfield networking with other drivers. She's really good at that. She's kind of like I don't want to say mother figure, but like she talks to a lot of students all day, every day, kind of helping them through the process so she can be here and be in a supportive role for drivers coming into the program. And then I would take on a training role with Prime, but I would train a student and then have Jenna get on the truck with me for a few months so that I'm not away from her all year. So that's kind of what we're thinking right now. And that's, but it's, I think we're going to have her drive the truck at least through the winter. I cannot train during the winter. Nothing against you guys who are coming into the program. I can't have a stranger driving my truck while I'm asleep through what we just went through in this winter. I'm just not down for it. I'm also not down to stand on that pad during blizzards. So, and plus we want to order our third truck before she would step away from driving, if that's what if we decide that she would step away from driving. So that's kind of what we're looking at doing. So I'd basically train every 6 to 8 weeks and then have her on the truck every 6 to 8 weeks. And then she could, run that business in Springfield or something of that nature. And then we continue towards our goal of having 5 trucks by 2025. At which time I want to get into what I'm most passionate about, and that is media. Video production was my profession before this. Video production and communication. I did script writing. So copywriting, screenwriting, all that stuff is what I did as a profession before I came to Prime, and I want to get back into that. So I want to build a studio, and I want to do a lot more content for the trucking industry while minimizing kind of my driving. So that's our plan. Obviously we're just giving you a 30,000 foot view and just kind of scratching the surface of some of what we're trying to do. We're talking with some companies that we want to work with, over the next few years and kind of partnering with us on some of this stuff. And so hopefully that helps you guys understand why we're so damn busy. So, all of this is happening while we're running a truck hard and while we're about to run a second truck and possibly a third truck by the end of next year. So it's just crazy. It's just crazy busy.
RN, so you said she's going to face the same risks cleaning trucks. To an extent, yes, but not out on the road in the middle of nowhere under a load where I can't get to a hospital.
Yeah. And in a much more controlled environment.
And where I can actually have regular physical therapy appointments and stuff and do the stuff that I'm supposed to do to minimize the risk of injury to joints. So obviously being OTR, I can't go to bi-weekly physical therapy appointments. So, and that's what was pretty much suggested to me in January was like, oh, well, your best bet to not get messed up is to just go to physical therapy all the time. And I'm thinking, okay, well, that doesn't really work at all. So
Yeah, Graboid Trucking, the podcast, yes, that is a huge part of the future. That's what we're that's what I'm more talking to some companies about. It's just so time consuming, so time consuming. I'm recording one tomorrow evening. I would like to try and get a second one scheduled before we leave back out on the road this weekend, but it's just hard, I do a video every single day. Some days we do multiple videos. I can't record podcast on the road. I'm writing proposals and creating all kinds of other stuff that I'm looking at starting to work and negotiate with companies. We're talking about the future of building our fleet and potentially what this means for Jenna. And is she going to build a business that kind of goes along with this? Just a lot of moving parts. So, we're doing our best.
Stefan and RN. First, real quick. Hey, Beth. It's good to see you on here. Stefan and RN. I have thought about doing something like that. That's also a possibility too. One of the things that's kind of cool, like
in-house, you mean?
Yeah.
Read the comment when you hear.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So Stefan says she could work in the training department or something in-house. RN says has she thought about getting an in-house job, like recruiting, sales, etc. That's definitely something that is possible too. But I kind of like the flexibility in being able to help people. I feel like in a lot of cases, like when your environment is a mess, it really messes with you psychologically. It messes with you mentally. So to be able to give people a clear space to work and live is very gratifying to me because, even in my spare time, sometimes I'll go and, help people accomplish tasks of things that are bothering them, whether their house is dirty or whatever. And seeing that change what's going on for people, I don't know. There's just something really cool about it and kind of soothing. So it's not like a no on something like that because I love to help in any capacity, but I don't know. It's just an idea.
Tasha says your eyes will adjust in 3 days, roughly.
Hopefully, because I literally had to hold Eric's hand all day, walk it around, totally holding his hand for dear life because I thought I was going to fall over and die.
RN less risk of falls. Yeah, and that's really what it comes down to. If she's detailing trucks, does she still have to step up into the truck and be working around inside a truck? Yeah, but she doesn't have to get up in and out of trailers in really unfavorable conditions, getting load locks off the back of the truck. And fueling in blizzards and just all the you guys know how winter is. Yeah.
And just for the record, though, because he starts going down this path where he's acting like I'm totally, a cripple.
No, she's not. She's not at all.
But I'm,
She's totally capable. My concern is, would something happen that would create that situation?
So, yeah.
I can't help but have that concern for her. Country Trucker Brad, hell yeah, we are building a damn fleet. Can we get Freightliner to put a rush on the arrival date? Well, considering that we're about to write a $10,000 check to Success Leasing, and then we have to write another $10,000 check to Success Leasing for that.
The timing's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I know, Brad, you want the truck sooner. We're okay with which, by the way, Brad, Prime Trucker Rob just got his Freightliner, and his was only a week late. So that is dramatically better than last year when they were 3 months late. Can't be in-house and drive, thinks she wants to do whatever, whenever, ultimate freedom. Yeah. Yeah, I think she, yeah. Considering trucking but never seen snow in my life. Well, Mikey T, if you get into trucking, you will absolutely see snow, especially if you're going OTR. What do we miss here? Working the train. Okay, we saw that. Let's see. Just going to face the same race cleaning trucks. So yeah, we addressed that.
We try to be smart, Ben. He says you guys are smart, or you guys are
Yeah,
planners.
they're planners for the future. That's smart.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so. We'll see. Might be incredibly stupid. Ross shows up late. By the way, Ross. Oh, do you have that picture?
Oh, I sent it to him. It was on Discord.
But the other one you took with me. So Ross, yeah, when you come back to Springfield, you got to go to the Battlefield Mall because they have a. I think it's new. I've never seen that store in there before.
Yeah, the anime store.
They have a anime store. I don't know if it's going to show. This is me inside the anime store.
Standing with some sort of weird zombie butler.
Let's see. I would get you to detail our truck. Actually, you just need organizational help. Yeah, and that's another thing. So it's not just truck detailing. It is about getting the truck clean, of course, but helping organize it. I'm telling you guys, she is like, our truck is a well-organized, well-oiled machine until she goes to sleep. When she goes to sleep, I disorganize it, the whole thing.
That's true. Yeah. I wake up in the morning, there's like seeds on the dash and a cup full of seeds and coffee cups in the holders and Red Bull cans shoved in places and yeah.
Brad, all right, I guess I'll just hurry up and wait. Yeah, sorry, man. Stefan, 20K, that's nothing for you guys, like a month's pay.
I'm not going to comment on it.
No comment. Let's see. Nap transport just got stopped for my 30. What did I miss? Oh man, you missed a lot, bro. You gotta go listen to the replay while you're driving. It probably won't be processed for a while because this one's going long.
That's what she said.
That is what she said. RN, how's it going? Ross, Johnson's Logic. Oh yeah, I gotta go. Yeah, you gotta go, man. That store was legit. It's not just some tiny store either. It's like legit.
And the Kung Fu Tacos place, like it looks awesome.
Rolling for Time. So Rolling for Time's asking, we only had to put down 4K. We actually only had to put down 1K, but because I've already been leasing for 2 years, my deposit comes down by $1,000 per year that I've been leasing. Plus we got a credit of $500 because Peterbilt will no longer ship trucks to Prime on the new body style that have the black crown. So with the 2 years, $1,000 per year subtracted and the $1,000 deposit that we paid, plus the credits that they gave me, we owe about $10,000, which we have.
Graboid says, man, my trainer's truck was a nightmare. I need a dedicated place for everything. Exactly. And like, when you're OTR and you're living, breathing, sleeping, working, your truck is your life, it really does. It messes with you mentally when it's a mess. So like, when everything's got its dedicated place and you know where to find it, makes a big difference. Like, it really does.
Mikester, DJI has Chinese zone and loaded with spyware. Oh my God. If you think that your GoPro or anything you have does not have Chinese processing parts inside of it, I don't know what to tell you.
Everything's full of spyware. Nothing is private. There is no such thing as privacy, unhackable, any of that. Like,
let me ask you something. If you think DJI is spying on you, are you on Facebook?
Or TikTok? Or do you have a social security number? The government's spying on you?
If you don't plan for the future, you'll end up like the average OTR driver, dead at 50 on average. Man, if you guys go back and watch our very first video, which would have been in September last year, I think, I started this Drive to Thrive, ending every video with Drive to Thrive. And it was because we met, or were you in the truck stop or was it just me? When I met that couple. Was it Petro, I think?
I don't remember.
They're a married couple in their 70s. like early 70s, and they've been driving a truck, you know, damn near since I was born. And they had nothing. Like they had bought boats and stuff like that throughout the years. Lady was doing laundry or something. I had a chat with her for a little while. And it was so sad to me that like she was saying that they were realizing that they can't stop driving because they never did anything to set up a future for themselves. So they basically were faced with the reality that one of them was going to die on the road, and what was the other one going to do? And I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with OTR long term if that's what makes you happy, but that conversation motivated me almost more than there's a lot of things that motivate me, but that conversation was a preemptive engine that got fired up for me to make sure that in everything that we do, when we get behind the wheel of that truck, what is the thing when I've been really pissed off and frustrated over the last week or two, what do I say?
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
When I get really frustrated or pissed off the last couple weeks, what do I say? New trucks.
Yeah, that's right. And I've been saying it too, like, because Willie caught me actually driving 65, and he was like, "Wait a minute, that's you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You're flying like a bat out of a cave." Like I wasn't speeding or anything like that, but he was just laughing because I always go like 58, and so he's like, "Oh, and I said, "Yeah, Eric calls it driving highway speeds." I was like, gotta go get them new trucks. So that's been our thing, is every time anything's going on, it's new trucks.
Yeah, we get a really shitty load that we're just going to power through it because it gets us to somewhere we want to go. I just sit over there behind the wheel and go, new trucks, and just pump myself up, because there's so, like, I'm just working all the time. If it's not truck related, it's, building what we're building for the future. It's us discussing the possibility of her running a business of her own. If you guys can hear a squeak, that's because Remy is across the hallway.
She's pissed.
Losing her effing mind with a squeaky toy because she can't be in here right now. But anyway, having the motivation to having a future plan, or at least setting out in that direction, is gives us purpose. It helps us get through really frustrating and challenging times out on the road. And I say all the time in videos, be it whether it's paying off debt. We know some drivers who are trying to buy some land, like a Callie. She wants to buy a little piece of property and have like a spiritual retreat. That is a goal. Like, that's working towards something. If it's buying a houseboat or going and sailing to Bahamas, whatever it is, have something that you work towards and be very aggressively ambitious towards that. And that'll help you get through the struggles and the mundane, laborious parts of OTR life.
Raymond said that did you miss Raymond's comment?
What did it say?
He said, you keep skipping past it. It's right there.
I was thinking of switching to lease. I don't know if that whole comment will fit. Yep, there it goes. Thinking of switching to lease driving at Prime. Your videos help out a lot. Still doing research and had a recruiter named Jorge call me today. Just want to make the right decision. Again, thanks. I'm partisan towards Prime. Both of us are. When I came to Prime, neither of us were certain that it was the right thing to do. And as soon as I upgraded and she got on the truck and started watching the business and got to go see Prime and interact, because Jenna got on the truck the day I upgraded, both of us were like, have never looked back and have never had any regrets whatsoever. In fact, okay, so we've been sitting here talking about our plans, right? To have a fleet in 5 years, to build a studio, her possibly having her own business that serves the trucking industry. When I started with Prime, our plan was for me to be a company driver for a year and then to leave Prime and do a local driving job. That was our plan. So instead of going company, I went lease right when I upgraded. And then when I reached a year, we felt like we were only just beginning to learn. And she was like, I'm going to drive, you know. I will never forget the day I called her. She wasn't on the truck that particular week for some reason.
Because we had just got this house.
Oh, yeah, we just got this place. So she'd stayed back here to kind of get it set up and ready. And I called her from a Blue Beacon because my fleet manager was like, hey, you should train Jenna. You guys should drive as a team truck. So I called her from a Blue Beacon, in line at Blue Beacon, and I said, babe, don't think of how I would think of this. Just tell me what the answer that comes to your mind right now when I ask you this. Do you want to drive the truck? Is that not what I said? And she said, yes. And so we've gone from thinking, okay, we'll try this Prime company out, and we'll run a company, and then we'll leave after the year, to now running a team truck and building a fleet at Prime. So, Raymond, that's a long way of saying the doors that have opened for us and the confirmation that coming to Prime was the right decision is incredible. Just incredible. So my answer to you is absolutely go for it. Jeffrey, Jenna, can you do a video of how to organize the inside of the truck when you guys get your new truck? That's a great idea. You can do that.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. And that might help those who are thinking about coming to Prime with a dog, because that has to be taken very much into account. Chris Parent, all hell the data, great data mines. Mikey T, can you somewhat manage your fleet's loads at Prime? Somewhat, Mikey. We're going to talk about that next month. We'll talk about that next month. No problem. 70 peeps in here says on weekday we big time. Yeah,
Ben, it's so weird to me. It's so weird to me because like I really just look at us and think we're nerdy and we're not that entertaining. So it's always fascinating to me that people actually want to hear us talk and hang out with us.
Hold on, I gotta fix this, guys. My size is way off on this. Now I'm just really pissed.
Good night, Ross. Thanks for coming in.
There we go. Hopefully that size is better. Yeah, good night, Ross. And he says, all right, y'all, I gotta go. Having game night with some friends, and it's getting serious. When Ross says it's getting serious, it's getting effing serious.
How much are you drinking, Ross? He says it's getting serious, so.
NAP Transport, who I just subscribed to today, by the way. Raymond, I've been driving for 5 years and I've worked for multiple companies. Prime is the best company I've seen overall. Agreed. Sykes, have a good night, Ross. Enjoy your time at home. Rodolfo Tux, is there a difference between lease to own and getting financed by a bank? Okay, so I've answered this question a few times. I talked to Travis Kinley about it. In my research, because I did kind of tentatively explore all options. Now Ross I don't know his details. I'm not going to speak on his behalf, but he was able to finance the buyout of his Volvo through a bank. You can go subscribe to his Johnson's Logic to his channel and ask for more detail there. I don't know, and even if I did, I wouldn't try to explain it. But here's what I found. In minimum to good credit, without like 5+ years of running a consistent business, running the kind of freight that you're running right now. In other words, without a very consistent 5-year track record and good credit, to finance a $150,000 to a $200,000 truck, you're going to need approximately $40,000 to $50,000 down. That to me is not realistic when you want to buy 2 or 3 trucks in a year and a half or 2 years. So there are some barriers, economic barriers to being able to do what we want to do. Now, the advantages, of course, is that you're going to have lower payments and things of that nature. You're probably going to get a little bit better deal on the truck. I'm not sure. but for us, the lease purchase model is very fitting for us. It's a great process. Prime makes it all very easy and manageable, easy to understand, and so that's the route that we're going. We're pretty pleased about it. Let's see. We are going to have to wrap this one up shortly because Remy's losing her mind. But I'm really surprised, you guys. Thank you so much. If you could like this video while we're streaming, because two jackasses, and it's 2 of the 5 thumbs down club that thumbs down every single video. We have to beat them back. We'd really appreciate it. Johnson's Logic, let's not talk about it.
Ben, it's serious. She gone.
Steven, I'm definitely a Johnson's Logic sub. Good. Johnson's Logic, make sure you guys hit the like button. Thank you. Graboy Trucking, he's drinking so much he is still here thinking he left. He's drinking so much he's seeing himself in 2 places. Kenworth Ryder had 3 whiskey sours and I'm feeling great. Ben, 20% down, good credit minimum. Yeah, 20% down minimum. So that to me was like, I was priced out of the market on going through a bank to finance a brand new truck. Omega, aka Elizabeth, take care, y'all. Good night. Thank you. Ben, you guys are aware Prime Ace lease is 10.5% interest, I believe. Use it to be free of the interest back in the day.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah. Yes, of course they're going to have interest. Good for them. I want Prime to be profitable so that I can continue to haul freight for Prime and continue to profit and buy new trucks. It's really amazing how that happens. Joe Gampa, good night, everyone. Be safe. Raymond,
Good night, Joe.
I live in Moberly, Missouri. How realistic is it to lease with Prime and make it home every weekend? Probably a dumb question. Not very realistic at all. Unless you find some sort of regional or something. I'll be totally honest with you, and Junior Honduras rails on this as well. If you're planning to come run OTR at Prime and you think that you're going to be home every weekend, your contract is probably not going to last as long as you think it will, because it's just too much. A fleet manager is not going to want to have to deal with routing you home every 5 or 6 days. And to be honest with you, that's going to end up costing you, because it takes a good 2 weeks to really get a hardcore groove where you're making good money. Like, you got to go run for 2 weeks when you come off of home time to like be hitting home runs, So if you're trying to go home every 5 or 6 days, this is not going to be as successful as you'd like for it to be. And I'm just being totally honest with you. I don't want to make it sound like, well, yeah, you could make that work. In my view, you cannot make that work. Not with a $5,000 a month lease payment. With your permits and all that good stuff, can't do it.
Steven says, gonna start from the beginning. Good night, you guys. Good night, Steven.
Good night, Steven. Thanks for stopping in. Paul, catching the tail end of this, just starting my 34 from No Place, Arizona. A lot of good stuff in this video, Paul. I highly recommend you go back and listen. I'm getting ready to come to Prime as soon as I can get my CDL. Can I use your driver code? Blake, yes, you absolutely can. It is ODOMEJ.
And it's much appreciated. It's Remy's college fund.
Yeah.
So,
we went and bought Remy's food today. We feed her well. And we're constantly surprised that when you have a well-bred dog that you take very, very good care of, it costs about the same as a child. Well, I'm just saying, it used to be free like a little bit ago. Most people still think that they're just putting it out there. Yeah, you're gonna. Okay, Ben, I will totally agree with you and say this transparently. If you go through Success Leasing for an Ace 2 lease, you are likely going to pay more for the truck than you would if you went to a dealership. But again, you're getting around some financial barriers that most of us can't get around, and Prime makes that possible for you. So, you know, there's pluses and minuses of every possible avenue that you could go.
Ross.
Patty Tank, good evening from Salt Lake City. I'm officially on the upgrade list. Awesome.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Johnson's logic so dramatic. Okay, I'm leaving for real now. Oh yeah, okay. You're gonna lurk. I know it. You're gonna lurk.
Okay, now that Ross has left the room, you guys.
All right, yeah. So Ross is gone. Let's go back to what we were just saying about him.
Hey, Trucker John.
Trucker John, I was just using. Well, and I'll talk about that in a future video. You guys go subscribe to Trucker John's YouTube channel. I was just gloating about his channel in our Discord. Dude does some good videos, man, and it's good quality videos. Mark Bailey, and that is why we all love you, this channel, because you're honest. Thank you, appreciate that. I know Prime sometimes may not really dig our honesty, but maybe they do. I honestly believe this, you guys.
They've never complained.
I honestly believe that Prime likes for us all to be out here being open and transparent about it. And I think, well, I know for a fact that prospective drivers look at a channel like ours and don't see the content we make as a deterrent for them coming to Prime. We get a ton of feedback. And so our content is not designed to freak anyone out or deter you from coming to Prime. We want you to come to Prime. We think it's a great place to come drive. But we also don't want to just sit here and say it's all the streets are all paved with gold and nobody shit stinks at Prime. Like, there's no perfect company. See, there's Johnson's Logic eyes here again.
Brett, that's awesome. So Brett says, evening guys, put my application in yesterday and also talked with Barbara as well. She texted me today. We're going to speak tomorrow, fingers crossed.
That's awesome,
good
Brent.
luck, and I'm really excited for you. Like, I hope everything works out great.
Yeah, we really like Barbara. We talk to her relatively regularly.
Not as much this past trip out, just because we've been busy. I have friends messaging me asking if we died because, I haven't answered their texts.
Thomas Carroll, 2 French bulldogs, way more than children. Yeah,
definitely. I've told Eric that, like, so I love the pointy-eared, pointy-coned, like shepherdy types, but eventually when we're old, we'll have to think smaller. And I've told him French bulldog because he loves pugs. He likes the little smushed face ones.
I think pugs are funny. I don't know what it is about
but
pugs.
I told him, I'm like, okay, so French bulldog, it's the halfway point because they've got the pointier ears, but their face is still smushed and they still have big personality. Like, I sent him this video this week of this one. It was a French bulldog throwing an absolute fit, like complete meltdown because its owner put it on a diet. Because it was a little chunky and it was just screaming at the person.
Yeah, they have a lot of personality. Mm-hmm. And I like dogs with personality. I don't like dumb dogs. I have to put this comment up because I have the perfect answer for you, Paul. So Paul says, I do need some advice. Road assist has been absolutely useless. What can I do to get some help? Go to the nearest TA or Petro. Can you... Your trailer's on fire? Can you make it to the nearest TA Petro? I don't know.
My reefer won't start. Did you try turning it on?
Sorry. I had to... I don't have an answer for that, man, because... Yeah. Tasha, our dog runs a truck. So true. Nat Transport's actually, it's about the same price. Yeah, I don't think it's off that far. And I think NAP Transport, the reason is that Prime gets them for really cheap. What Prime is charging you for the truck is not anywhere remotely close to what they're paying for the truck.
Cisco, it is such a disappointment. I called literally every Love's on our way back from Ohio. Yes. And they only order the hats and stuff once a year.
So I got a hold of one of the shop managers at one of the Loves, and he was like, well, I have 4 safety vests. I guess I could give you 2. And I'm like, no, those are for your roadside guys because they have to throw them out when they get dirty. So I was like, how bad would you feel if your guy didn't have, like, he goes to change a tire somewhere and he doesn't have a reflective vest because you gave two to us as a joke?
We are going to do it, you guys. So it's
I'm
either
just
the
gonna
first or
order
the
them.
second week in
Yeah.
July. I'm going to go to the safety meeting with a Loves hat, a Loves t-shirt, a Loves safety vest, and a Loves mug. Just as a silent protest. And by the way, guys, I'm doing a follow video up. It's not... Jen and I were talking about this yesterday. We're not like throwing some... I know some YouTubers out there are like, some people are making a real big deal about this. We're effing truck drivers, man. You got to have these kinds of things to help keep you entertained.
I point this out to Eric all the time. I'm like, okay, so sometimes you'll run into drivers from other companies at truck stops that want to bitch and call us prima donnas and say how spoiled we are because we always have the newest toys, like the new tech of everything and whatever. They're not wrong. Prime does really take care of their drivers. So, here we're complaining about Loves because we like Loves better than Pilot Flying J. We're complaining that road assist can be a pain sometimes and whatever. At least we have a road assist department. There are people out there that are just on their own.
Yeah.
We do have, the best of everything, and Prime really does take care of us to the point that everybody was like, woohoo, the driver advisory board fought for us and got us a ping pong table. Like, the biggest concern of drivers in Springfield at the last driver advisory board meeting was that they were demanding a ping pong table. So when we're complaining about this or that, it actually says a lot of good things about Prime, because if we're just mad or whining about, well, not mad, if we're just whining about petty stuff and not big things, like, that really says something about Prime. So
yeah, I still want to do my silent protest with all my
just
Loves
because
gear.
we just think it's hilarious. Like, we just come up with this idea when we were getting some lights fixed on a trailer, and we were just like, this would be absolutely hilarious to us.
Yeah, so we are gonna do it, and we're gonna
if we could get other people in on it to sit in a group at the table, we think that would be even more
if we could have like 4 or 5 people wearing some Love swag at one table at a safety meeting, I think that would be hilarious.
Just staring blankly.
Cisco, flat-faced dogs snore.
So do the pointy-nosed ones.
Yeah, well, I snore sometimes, so...
Remy, she smushes her face into your body and is smothering herself. You literally have to, like, grab her cone and move it because she's smothering herself when she's trying to sleep.
Graboid says, I came to Prime because you were honest about it.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I appreciate that. And I think that that's the objective. The objective is to be open and transparent about it, but do it in a way that makes it obvious that Prime is still a great place to be. We just don't want to pretend that it's something that it's not. Of course, they don't mind. You're helping them by eliminating anyone that is unsure about certain things, and you two help educate so many on a lot of different things in trucking. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. Ben, limp it into the next TA. Okay, Ben, and I know we're going way long, but there's still freaking 60 people. Is it? It is Thursday, right? Holy shit. Okay. So Ben's absolutely right. We had a trailer that we picked up at Chobani in New York.
Oh my God.
New Berlin, I think it is. So some of you are probably familiar with that place. We picked up a trailer there in the winter.
Isn't it New Albany?
I think it's New Berlin.
I don't know.
Yeah.
New York.
Anyway, somebody in the chat tell me where that Chobani plant is in New York. We dropped and hooked there, picked up this trailer, and it would not hold air for shit. I mean, it was just now you couldn't hear it. Of course, it was like snowing really hard, and so when we were hooking up the trailer, and it may not have even happened yet. I'm not even sure. But as soon as we got out on the interstate, the air just keeps filling up. So we're like, shit. We had a couple exits to go down. We go down to the place that loads you with the glass, fancy, rich people yogurt. What is it? It's in the actual glass jars.
I don't know what actual yogurt comes in it, but
It's really
they're fancy.
Really
fancy.
fancy.
They're like baby food jars without like a lid. It's just got like the tinfoily lid on top of them.
Really fancy yogurt jars. So we go pick up a load of those, and it gets worse and worse and worse. And now you can hear it just gushing out of the back of the trailer. But we couldn't identify it because there's ice and snow everywhere down there.
Like the entire underneath of the trailer was just ice and.
So we go to the TA Petro that's off the I-90 toll road up there in New York, and they discover that there's like a foot-long crack down the side of the air tank on the trailer. I mean, it like air just immediately just right out of the side of that trailer, out of that tank. Well, they didn't have the tank in inventory. Why am I losing this word? They didn't have that tank in stock. So what does Rhodesys say to us? Rhodesys says, well, can you go ahead and take the trailer to Pittston?
No, because I
miles
literally was scared to death because like the roads are icy, it's snowing. I have a massive air leak to the point that I'm afraid the emergency brakes are going to lock up at any moment.
They had already been sent pictures of the tank by TA Petro. Who
said they don't even know how I got the trailer there. They were like, how did you get the trailer here?
without the tires locking up. The TA Petro had sent them pictures of a foot-long crack in the side of the air tank and Rhodesys to ask us if we can take the trailer to Pittston, which is like 150 miles from there.
So I think what they ended up doing was TA drove and picked up the tank and then came like
took
all the way back.
all night long. We didn't get it until the next morning.
And that was the day I decided that I would never eat iron skillet. Like it was the first and only time I tried to eat iron skillet because that's the only option at that TA Petro. I got us chicken parm.
Yeah.
And mine was rubber.
Mauricio, do you guys use the CatScale app when weighing your tractor? Yes, every single time. We used the CatScale app yesterday. Yeah, yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
For General Mills Pillsbury, which loves to load the trailer all the way to the back door, and therefore you're going to drive wherever you're going to drive in either the 10th or 11th or 12th hole. And very lopsided, so your trailer is going to seesaw, which means whoever's in the bed is having a blast.
Good night, nap trucking, NAP.
Paul, 5 days, no APU, trying to sleep in this heat is near impossible. RA said we can't let you idle so you can get some rest. I guess I'll just head to Thermo King myself. Yeah. NAP transport, gotta hit the road. I'll be lurking. Is that who you were saying bye to? Yeah, thanks for stopping in, man. Tasha, we have Petro insulated jugs, but only because they were bigger. We will fill them up at Love's.
Did you explain this thing?
No, but I'll do that in a...
Yeah. You should tell them the story about the one behind you one of these days about me getting scammed by China.
Stefania keeps their morale up. Wear your Love's gear at the safety meeting. Jeffrey, yeah, we just won't have it tomorrow. We have to order our Love's gear. Because Love's finally figured out that nobody really buys Love's gear. And they took it out of their store apparently over the last month or two. All their stores. Like she called every Love's between Ohio
we
and
literally
Springfield.
all got rid of it at the same time because it had been sitting there for so long, and they were so upset. They were like, "We would give you boxes of it to give to everybody."
Yeah,
they were like,
they literally wanted to help us with this, and there was one of them that
said that they took boxes of it to Goodwill, and I was like, no.
Jermaine, New Berlin with all the back roads at night is a nightmare. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so it is New Berlin. Thank you for that confirmation. But I will say this, Jermaine, if you go during the fall, during the day, that is one of the most beautiful areas to drive during the fall because when all the leaves change, oh my God, it is like just absolutely fucking freaking. I think I just dropped my first F-bomb on
you
YouTube.
You dropped other F-bombs.
A couple other times.
Remind me never to drive or never to pull a trailer that Cisco had first.
Country Trucker Brad. Yeah, New Berlin.
So Cisco Guru says JB Weld that 1 foot long crack. LOL. Yeah. So we will just let us know what trailers you've had, and we just will not.
We'll get right
use
on that.
them.
Okay, so instead of Jenna doing a truck detailing service called High Beam, she's going to do High Beam's trailer welding, and we'll just weld trailers. I mean, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Of course, if we ask Road Assist, they'll say, well, can you get it to a TA Petro and then weld it?
Hey, Miss Monique.
Graboid Trucking, yeah, Road Assist asked me if I could pull a trailer to Salt Lake. It was missing the leaf spring bolt for the rear axle.
Mm-hmm. That sounds accurate.
Miss Monique, yeah. Thomas Carroll, when you get your Frenchie, don't go to a pet store. They get their dogs from puppy farms, and they are defective as hell.
Yeah, so on where we get our dogs, I know some really good breeders that once it gets to the point of, getting another one, it would either be through one of those very ethical breeders that I know exactly everything about the dogs that are being bred, or potentially a rescue. Eric and I kind of disagree a little bit on rescues, just because he wants like brand new spud puppy that he can grow like a chia pet and watch it. I'm more interested in getting like the older one that's blind that has like 3 days to live, to give it a wonderful home for that last 3 days. Eric doesn't really get that yet. Because Remy's his first dog, so maybe I'll get him into the rescue camp eventually. But yeah, we're not gonna mess with the puppy mills.
Let's see. Jerry Garcia, how much you have to pay with Prime for injured a new truck? You mean if you wreck a new truck? I think it's $1,000 deductible for the tractor and a $500 deductible for the trailer, I believe. RN, go to eBay and look for a Love's hat. Love's actually has a really good marketplace for their own. It's really for their employees, I think, right?
Yeah, it is. But they have all really nice hats and stuff, even Adidas brand hats because they have the race car. So you could buy all the Love's race car branded stuff on there, and so they have really, really good quality hats.
Trucker John, can you guys help me get a Remy? Oh, I would so love to see you get a German Shepherd, Trucker John. I would love to see that. Man, you better get a good vacuum, because come summertime, German Shepherd is going to create...
Did you see that picture I sent you, Trucker John, of when I took her out the other day and was brushing her, and there's just little clumps of hair all over in the grass at TA? She's sitting there all beautifully and posing for the camera, and there's literally clumps like snow all around her.
But I'll tell you, having a German Shepherd on a truck with you, there's nothing like it.
She's now taken to throwing things at the door.
Yeah, she's pissed. Mm-hmm. More than 3 heartbeats on a lease truck. Well, it's like Fight Club, I'm not going to say that we have seen a lot of Prime trucks with more than 3 heartbeats on the truck. I'm also not going to say that we haven't seen it. Cisco Gun, time for me to hit the rack.
Good night.
Y'all have a good night. You too. Thank you so much you were here the whole time. Thank you. Grabboy Trucking, no luck trucking, late, but I'm here. We're about to leave, man. We got to go get all our shit out of or not all of our stuff, but someone asked if we're on home time. We're not really on home time.
We're on a pit stop.
Yeah, it's a pit stop. We are going to a safety meeting tomorrow, and then we're leaving Saturday. So we're just doing laundry. Saturday or Sunday? Probably Sunday. Anyway, we're not on our normal 10-day home time. So, and really we've been working, like we've been running all day today. So anyway, crazy live tonight, you guys. I thought this one would be short and sweet, but you guys were a lot of fun to interact with, so really appreciate that.
I'm so bothered.
By what? Oh, see? This is why she would be good at truck detailing.
Why did you move that?
About to try to get some sleep and deliver tomorrow, No Luck Trucking. You ain't getting off the yard on a Sunday, come on. We actually have mastered the art of getting off the yard on a Sunday, but I'm not giving away those secrets. Let's see. That's about it. I think how many cats do you see in the trucks?
Oh God, Stacy, there's a picture of a wheel trans going around. It's been going around for years, this picture. It's like infamous. There was a wheel trans truck that the person had like 12 cats on the dash, and it just gives me a twitch, just because, I mean, if Remy's hair does what it does when she's shedding, can you imagine what 12 cats would do?
Cody, those dogs with 2 layers of hair make a mess. Yeah, but yeah.
Rottweilers are awesome.
I just don't think that. I think if you want a very smart, intelligent dog with an like unbelievable amount of character that is going to unconditionally love you, and its whole life exists on being in your space and knowing that you love it, a German Shepherd is that dog. And that's why I think they pair them so many times with veterans. And that's why I think they're great for truck drivers, because Remy likes to sit up in the front seat when we're stopped and sleeping, just so that she can kind of survey the battlefield, if you will. But really, outside of that, her world is being as close to one of us as possible. And if we step out of the truck or the house for 3 minutes and we come back into the truck, it's like we just left for 3 years.
This is what she does to him.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, you're back. Oh my God.
Isn't there a short hair shepherd?
Yeah, so Trucker John, there's a long hair and then there's like a shorter hair. Remy's the shorter hair. There's also the plush coat. So it really depends, because it depends on what line of German Shepherd they're coming out of. But the short hair is not short hair like Jack Russell Terrier short hair. It's more like a medium length. But that is the shorter version. And then there's like the really long coat German Shepherds too.
Yeah, you just learn to deal with it. Like you learn in the summer to only wear light colored t-shirts and shirts.
Which doesn't work for me, because I wear
so
black
the hair doesn't show, and you have a really good vacuum, and you just have to be. Now, one thing it helps you, especially it's easier if you're on a solo truck too, it helps you be disciplined and keep your truck very clean, because you have to vacuum like every other day.
So Trucker John said something really important that I need to hit on, because this is one of my things. I also want the German Shepherd for protection, and they can get in and out of the truck without me carrying them. So there's a couple things with that. Number one, as much as this is an incredibly unpopular statement I'm going to make, an untrained dog will not protect you. Dogs by nature want to do their best to protect their owner. A dog without training can be easily scared off, deterred, overtaken. Yes, anything with teeth is capable of biting. But when push comes to shove, your dog is your companion, and do not fault them if they.
Now that said, Trucker John, if you're talking about a dog that shows up at the window, if someone knocks on your door and makes
They're
that person
deterrent.
think that they're about to have their head eaten off, yes, a German Shepherd's great for that.
Yes, Remy is a wonderful deterrent. She sounds like she means business.
We've literally had shippers and receivers like the lumpers walk up to go knock on the door and jump back when Remy greets them.
Yeah. The other part about them jumping in and out of the truck, she can easily do that, but I would definitely keep in mind that that is a lot of wear and tear on their joints, and that you can get steps. We do have steps that we use for her, to protect her hips and her elbows, because they are prone to hip and elbow issues.
But we keep her very healthy. We get lots of ball time as often as possible, and Jenna has a really good diet of joint supplements and things like that. But yeah, she can definitely, if it's in a pinch, she leaps right out and in the truck with no problem. She's a very physically active and healthy dog. But you certainly want to try and minimize it as much as possible so that they're that healthy and in good shape later on in their life. Okay.
Yeah, visual deterrent.
Yeah, you definitely get a visual deterrent for sure. So all right, guys, well, this is almost 2 hours. We still got things to do tonight, and then we're gonna go to the safety meeting tomorrow. So longest live we've ever done, I think, but it's awesome, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, for so many of you on a weeknight. Really cool. Thank you for doing what you guys do. I mean, being just like supporting us in the comments, like we're really kind of blown away. I know Trucker John, he's experiencing that kind of support, and Johnson's Logic and the other YouTubers, and it really is, we put a lot of work into making all this content, and we feel a part of family, and have from the moment we got on YouTube. So thank you guys so much. So anyway, everybody have a great, safe night and a great, safe weekend. If you're in Springfield for the safety meeting tomorrow, we'll be there. Outside of that, be safe, make good decisions, and as always, drive to thrive. We'll talk to you soon.